Hi everyone, my name is Izzy Lambert and today I will be talking about the green frog. So starting out with their classification, the green frog is in the order Anura, which are frogs and toads, family Ranidae, which are the true frogs, and its scientific name is Lithobates clamitans. Clamitans is Latin for loud call, and this is very fitting for their deep bark-like call that they use for defense, mating, and it also as an alarm signal when they are caught by predators. And I'll play a short snippet of their call for you guys to hear. So you can hear it's just this very deep bark-like sound. So continuing with classification a little bit, the green frog can be found through a majority of the East Coast, but there are two subspecies, the northern green frog, which is found mostly in the northeast, and then the bronze frog, which has more of a southeastern range. A little bit about their identification. They are a green, brown, bronzy color, usually their body being more brown and bronzy while their head is green, and then they have a white belly. They also can have dark marks, as you can see kind of on their lower back and back legs. But their major characteristic that separates them from the American bullfrog is that they have this dorsolateral ridge that extends from their eyes to its back. And you can see this in the lower picture where they have this ridge extending down into their lower back, and that's the green frog, when the top one is the American bullfrog, which just has that ridge from its eye around the tympanum. And the green frog is usually about 2.3 to 3.5 inches in total, which is a little bit smaller than the American bullfrog. So as I said before, the green frogs are found primarily throughout the East Coast, and they can be found from Maine and Ontario down to northern Florida. They can also be found in parts of Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas, and not really in Arkansas or Illinois. But as we were talking about before, the northern green frog is this light blue range up here, mostly in the northeast, and then the bronze frog is this darker blue color where they're mostly in the southeast of the United States. As for habitat, they can live in many different types like swamps, lakes, ponds, marshes, bogs, rivers, and streams. The tadpoles will be in the water, but the juveniles are more terrestrial and move into forests and fields when it rains. And the adults are primarily aquatic, and they will overwinter in the water a majority of the time, but they are also able to do so on land. So a little bit about their life history. Their wild lifespan is generally unknown, but the captive green frogs are able to live up to 10 years. They generally are not of special status and can be quite commonly found throughout their range, but there is an exception in Kansas where they are listed as a threatened species due to habitat loss and development. And they are actually hunted in some states, so they will have some game species protections, such as when they can be hunted and how many of them can be hunted at one time. They are omnivores and will mostly eat insects and invertebrates such as snails, slugs, and caterpillars, but they are opportunistic feeders and will eat whatever is easily accessible and swallowable for them. So this includes other small vertebrates such as frogs and fish. In terms of breeding, this will occur in the spring, and males will defend their own territories and call from them for females to come and mate. Females will choose their mate depending on the type of territory the male has and how adequate it is for egg survival. And there are also satellite males, which are the smaller males that aren't able to defend their own territories. So instead, they'll go hang out by larger male territories. And when these larger males are calling for females, the smaller males will intercept the female and breed with them before they reach the larger one. And they do have internal fertilization, and they will lay these large egg masses that will float in the water. Their first egg clutch will have 1,000 to 7,000 eggs, but they can lay more than one, just usually the ones after the first one will be smaller in size. These eggs take about 3 to 7 days to hatch, and then tadpoles will emerge and take about 3 months to a year to mature. And as we said, the juveniles are more terrestrial, and then the adults are primarily aquatic and take about 4 to 5 years to reach their adult size. A little fun fact about them is that they also use Batesian mimicry in their habitats, as they look similar to the mink frog, which is this picture right here. And the mink frog has an unpleasant taste for predators. So if they're mistaken by predators as the mink frog, they're less likely to eat them. But generally, they are found during the day and night and will be alone unless it is breeding season. Lastly, here are the sources that I used. Thank you guys for listening.